Hey, Ty here, so welcome to the VR Tech channel, and here we are with another video, because it's a very crazy busy time in VR, isn't it? Yesterday we had the announcement of the XR2 lineup directly from Qualcomm, and you can check out the video over here. Tomorrow we're gonna have the announcement of the new HP Reverb, the G2, that seems really like to be a real index competitor for the high-end PC VR. And today, of course, we have something for today. There's finally the announcement of the release of the Pico Neo 2, what it likes to be like the Quest on steroid, the first real competitor to the standalone headset from Oculus that makes things much better in many different cases. But there's a catch, of course. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are, so let's get into it right away, because Pico is no new to VR. They already unveiled a lot of different headsets in the past, but they were all 3DOF headsets, so just rotational tracking, a little like the Oculus Go, to give you an example. And well, finally they got in the market with the first 6DOF standalone headset with also controllers, and that's such a big deal, because really the market there really needs a competition. But there's just one way to win with the competition, and that's to beat them in pretty much everything. And Pico went very close to it with this headset. So first of all, we're not talking about just one headset, but actually two different headsets, the Pico Neo 2 and the Pico Neo 2i, that is gonna have eye tracking, so something completely new to the standalone VR ecosystem. But let's focus now on the specs. As we said here, we're gonna have 6DOF room scale tracking and 6DOF room scale controllers, so you're gonna be able to move them in any direction. And if you wonder about if two cameras are enough in the front to track in the right way the controllers, well, you might have to know that this is a completely new technology. Use a magnetic field to understand the position of your controllers. And so that means that even if you put them on your back, it's gonna understand completely the movement without having any occlusion from even your body. And that's just such an amazing thing that I really want to check out in person. And luckily, Pico is gonna send it over, so we're gonna see it everything together in the review in the future. But from what we saw from now, well, this looks very promising. Finally, we don't need 60 different cameras around the headset, but well, two are needed just for the headset itself, and then the controllers are gonna use a different kind of tracking. This seems like to work very well. Talking about the controllers, are like a mixture between the HTC Vive wands and the Oculus Touch controllers. Here we have A and B button, we have the thumbstick that is very good, but the form factor is really like a wand. We also have a trigger and a grip button that it seems like to be more a button than analogic, so we're gonna have to see it in person, of course. But it seems like there are all the buttons needed to actually have a good experience in VR, and they demo it also with Half-Life Alyx, but we're gonna talk about that just in a few. Because going back to the headset, well, the specs is that here we have a very powerful Snapdragon 845, so one generation over and more powerful than the Quest 835. And this processor is gonna be able to run a 4K displays with RGB pixel arrangement, so the clarity will be really high, with Fresnel lenses and an FOV of 101 degrees. That is nothing to brag about, but is pretty much in line with what we saw on the other headsets on the market. Standalone headsets, at least. Now, we talked about the Alyx because this headset is going to be the first one to use the XR boundless platform. So that means that you're going to be able to stream from the cloud or from your computer directly to your XR processor, the 845. And that means that you're going to be able to run Half-Life Alyx, for example, on your PC and stream it wireless to your headset. And something that we saw in the Quest with the virtual desktop, it is just an application, of course, so it can get really to the root of the code. Here instead is baked in the system itself, so that should give a really good latency so far. Now we have to point out though that the refresh rate is gonna be 75 Hz, so a little higher than the Oculus Quest, but lower than the usual PC VR headset with 90 Hz. Of course, we have a 4K panel, so it's harder to run that resolution on the headset with a mobile chipset, of course, even if more powerful than before. But if frame rate is a problem, well, there's also the Neo Eye version, and that means that you're gonna have eye tracking. With that, the possibility to have VR rendering depending on where you're looking at, and that means that you're gonna have an increase of the frame rate up to 66%. And the eye tracking is powered by Tobii, that is the world leader in eye tracking technology. Now, there's a thing that really attracts me a lot from this headset, and it's the form factor, because usually standalone headsets can be pretty front heavy because of course they have to house all the hardware inside, and well, what Pico did with experience from the past, they actually moved the battery in the back. It's something that we do with the Oculus Quest with the external battery pack, for example. Well, here is in the house directly, and that means that the distribution of the weight is going to be much better, and it's going to make it better for longer time sessions in the headset. Also, another thing that I really like seeing, that on the bottom there's an SD card slot. That means that you can expand the memory with different applications or games in case directly in the headset without having to clean up the storage every time. So a lot of flexibility here, and I can't wait to see how it interacts in the software, of course. And it's talking about software that we have to start to talk about the catches that there are with this headset, because there are gonna be some games, of course, you're gonna be able to play from your PC as well, using this as a receiver for your games. But this product is more focused towards enterprise and business. That's why you're not gonna be able to go buy it right now in this same moment if you are not a business, if you don't have a company interested in that, because unfortunately, well, they have a different sale path right now to start. But that doesn't mean that it's not an interesting headset. Also for the pricing, this headset is gonna be $699. That is very, very cheap compared to the $1,000 of the Oculus Quest for business. That is exactly the same version that you have in your house, but the difference is that, well, you're allowed to make money out of it, something like that. And to not forget, the eye tracking version is $899, so $200 more, and the only headset pretty much on the market with the HTC Vive Pro Eye with eye tracking integrated, and this time is even a standalone headset, so that makes it like mind-blowing for that price. Now, I think that this price will be good even for a consumer market, because at $399 you have the Oculus Quest, here you have a more powerful headset, you have a better screen, you have a better comfort for what seems like a better design overall. So I'm really interested to see if this is gonna even arrive to the consumer soon. But I also want to know if you will be interested in a Quest on steroids for more money, $699, with all the possibility that it brings, or for $899. Of course, here we don't have the Oculus platform, we don't have all the games, but we have to start somewhere. And this is one of the first XR headsets coming to the market. So it's very interesting. I can't wait to put my hands on it, because as I said, they're gonna send it very, very soon and give you my review directly, so we can see if we should really consider or not, even for us, regular people. But here you have it, guys. Let me know what you think about it in the comment below. Of course, tomorrow we have another appointment because there's a HP Reverb G2 release, and I'm super excited about it. I already made a video about it over here where we go through all the specs, and I can't wait to see if I was right or not. Super excited by it, and super excited by this Pico Neo 2 as well. I think they really worked well. It looks awesome from the exterior, and well, hopefully those controllers like to get the job done. But again, thanks so much for watching. I remind you that now we have the t-shirts with the Back to VR t-shirts that you can find down there, or the one with the brand, and also stickers. So be sure to check them out, and those are gonna support the channel that is very needed in this period, unfortunately. And also to support the channel, you can join the channel down there. It's gonna be like $5 a month, and well, you're gonna help so much over here being able to bring all the different reviews of VR and VR tech. But here you have it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. As always, if you liked the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Subscribe to the channel for more of VR tech, and I see you guys in the next video soon tomorrow. Thanks for watching.